Hi, I'm Jim Davis, and these are micro thoughts about the philosophy of voluntarism. Foolish Wisemen. To criticize the frolicking man for being the cause of sowing the grapes of wrath is to proclaim, I care not for the consequences of my own actions, but for the lack of others to act on my behalf for my profit, be it war, welfare, or obedience in general. What does that really mean? Okay, so have you heard the mantra of people saying if you don't vote, you can't complain, or if you don't vote, then you are responsible for evil in the White House or Congress or wherever it was voted into? That's what this is all about. Voting is not a moral endeavor. Voting, if we understood it, if we broke it down, is about asking a bunch of people to do a bunch of things to a bunch of other people who we don't even understand are guilty of anything against us whatsoever. Basically, voting is just an easy way to coerce others to some loose form of conformity in order to get maybe a sliver of a pie that you could have otherwise had if you had just simply walked up to these other people and said, hey, look, let's create something together. Worst thing that they can do is to say no to you. The best thing that they can do is say yes, and you two get along better than peaches and cream. But to say somebody is the problem for not voting and causing an issue with the world is to blame them for your own shortcomings and comprehension. That's all that is. It's not very pretty to say. It's not very politically correct or even very soft. It's rather blunt. If you're going to complain to somebody and you're going to say to them, you're the problem, it would probably be in your best interest for you to make sure you understand the actions and the effects that your actions have on others. Failure to look at that is generally what makes more people hypocrites than not. So, to criticize the frolicking man for being the cause of war and famine and death and plague is, and then vote on which one of those four is the lesser of evil, kind of lacks compassion, not for others, but for your own well-being. To not take a look and to see what the consequences or the rewards for your own actions are going to be before you perform them, and what price you might have to pay, meaning to sacrifice potential future relations at the for present or immediate gain, is going to get you more trouble in the long run than help. So when we go around and we blame people for doing things that aren't immediately harmful and just kind of assume that they are harmful in the long run is, well, it's lacking basic compassion. So let's try to not blame other people for these things. However, this isn't a message just for those whom are advocates of government. This is a message also for those whom are dissenters of government, advocates of peaceful voluntarism and peaceful anarchism. It's one thing for a man who's nescient to promote government and taxation without understanding the consequences of them. It's something else for an individual who understands that taxation is theft, that government is immoral, for this individual to make fun of the intellect and the comprehension of the individual who doesn't. I argue that it's actually far more destructive and dangerous for the individual who recognizes taxation as theft to mock and make fun of the intelligence of those who do not understand this. See, the problem here is that we can eventually get people to understand that taxation is theft and simply forgive them, because it's you have to really try to be angry at somebody who doesn't understand and know any better. Like, why would we yell at a child who touched something hot? They're the ones who got hurt. We may have to have paid the bill for it, but if we truly care, we can't be mad at them. Just like if we truly care about the people who are advocates of government and champions of taxation for a necessary evil that somehow helps the greater good, we can't genuinely be mad at them, at least not for very long anyway. And I mean, it should be a fleeting frustration and anger, especially when we realize that they suddenly understand. But when we make fun of their intelligence and the quality of their character because they were honestly nescient, that actually is the same thing as taking a piece of paper, crinkling it up, putting rips in it, and then doing your hardest and trying your best to flatten that paper out and get all the creases and wrinkles and cuts and tears out, replace and correct all of that. No matter how hard you try, you're not going to be able to make it happen. So, to criticize the frolicking man for being the cause of all these problems, to criticize somebody who doesn't know, to criticize somebody that you don't know knows or doesn't know, is to say you don't care for the consequences of your own actions. And that's something that so many people sorely need to remember on a daily basis. For now, I'd like to thank you for your time. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and give it a thumbs up. I base all of my work on my books, Liberty Defined and Morality Defined. If you'd like to encourage more content like this, please visit my website, jimlimberdavis.com, to explore more of my works, download free copies of my books, and consider donating even just $1. Every dollar helps, right? Thank you so much for taking a peacefully proactive solution and raising humanity's pinnacles of success faster and more efficiently through peaceful comprehension and creation instead of hostile ridicule and destruction.